The part came in today on Lazada for my 703 remote shifter on the Yamaha that changes it from a push to a pull on the throttle. So I hope they sent the right one. I'm gonna go look and see. Well, everybody, I'm doing a little bit of MacGyver work here. My 703 remote on my Yamaha, the remote is the shifter that you throttle and shift gears, engage the gears on an outboard engine, and or on an inboard engine as well. But according to what year it is, when you push the throttle forward, the cable might pull inside or it may push inside, and it's called a push or a pull. Like I say, according to the engine design and the year models. Well, my 703 remote was set up like this one is here, and I'll explain this part in a minute. And with it in this position and underswung like this inside, and the throttle cable goes on here, this is the wrong way right here. So this one here would be a push, and I don't need a push, I need a pull. So anyway, what has happened is my 703 remote I had here, which was just a remote I had from another Yamaha engine, but it had an ignition. It was the opposite on what I needed for the throttle. I needed my throttle to be a pull, and the one I had is a push. So I got online, and lo and behold, Lazada, out of all people, had the conversion kit to convert to go from a push throttle to a pull throttle. Now the image that they showed in the description was exactly what I needed. The image showed this part being attached up here, this is rolled over, and this is attached up here, and that changes it all right there. So you want this swung this way like that instead. We'll put that there where it'll reach a little bit better. So you want it like that instead of like this. And I ordered one, it should have been like that, and this arrived today, and it's the wrong part. It's what I already have. So I wrote them, I said, look, I showed them a picture of this, holding it up to the screen of their image on their ad. You sent me what I already have, you sent the opposite of what's in your picture, and I want to get a refund on this. But now, are they going to have the right one? How long am I going to wait? I've already put off putting the boat back out in the water for a while, waiting for this part to come in. So I said, heck with it, I'm just sending this back, and I'm going to modify the one that I have. So I took, and being that these are braided, you see, they're braided on, I just now went through here and cut those loose, took and ground them off, and drove them out. And I'll see what my luck is of putting it all back together. I'm gonna see what kind of luck I have. There's not enough material here to braid this back out, but I might be able to work the top out just a little bit to kind of help lock it in, and might be able to drill that and tap it or something. This one being stainless, I could actually, got some stainless rods, arc it and make a little spot weld, and that would lock that on just like the little brad does on it right here, like you see on this side. I got a little room that I can play with that one. So I'm gonna see what happens, see if I can MacGyver this up and make it the opposite myself. It's just a matter of getting those attached firmly and where they don't fall apart on you out on the water. All right, so I got this first one in here swung up the opposite way, and this is one that's stainless to stainless. So I was looking at that, this is fixed braided in there, this doesn't rotate. This pin, when it braids and swells there, it's fixed, it doesn't need to spin. It's got a little washer, kind of works like a bushing right here on each side, and so that's fixed. So in all practicality, all I need to do is take my stainless rod. I think I still have the welder out. Yep, I do. All I need to do is take the stainless rod and just tack that right there. Just 2 little old tacks and kind of clean it up afterwards where it don't have any burrs sticking out. Those arc type stainless rods really throw the splatter. But that would fix that one. So this one right here, it's in there. I hammered it in. It fits in there really tight. So that's going to have that side pretty much done. Now what I need to do is the brass one right here. I don't have a brass rod. I don't have anything to braze. So we'll see how that one's going to go. And it's going to be the same thing. It doesn't actually rotate. It's fixed. So I might be able to punch it in the middle right there and swell and flare it out. We'll see how much is left. And it has a little washer back behind it also. Yeah, it too has a little washer. All right, let's try again. All right, now I don't have these braided yet, but this is how it should be right there. All technicality here, I should be able to install this and it shift right now. But I've got to address this little brad right here, and I've got to address this one right here, as I said. So I'm going to work on that right now, see if I can find a solution for it, since I lost most of this material having to grind it out to punch it out. All right, so I'm exploring my options to brad this out right here. So one of my ideas, I got these big pop rivets, and if I could drill a hole down, I could pop rivet that in. But that's going to take a lot of material away, and I have to be very precise not to drill too much brass away. And this goes pretty deep, and so that's deeper than I want. Got this one that's more shallow, but it's still really bigger than I want. So that's one idea. Another idea I had, and I was looking over here, is somewhere in one of these drawers. I think I see one right there. Yeah, I see a piece right there. Is I've got these little brass rivets right here, and I have wondered what would happen if I put some flux or something on that. I've got some here, and put this in my welder and spotted some brass onto it, if it would bond. So that's a possibility. I don't have, boy, it'd be nice if you had a little pop rivet that was like brass, but that's another thing that I was thinking about, if I could just fuse some brass to some brass right there, something on the burner. Another option, but it would need to be stainless, and I doubt that washer is stainless or aluminum or something, would be to take a small rivet like this, that's a little 1/8 rivet and it's shallow, and put a washer on the outside, because that wouldn't come out sticking up any higher than this does over here on this one. And that's also a really good possibility here right now, but I don't think I have any stainless ones that small. And let me check this with a magnet. I guarantee you that it's steel. Yep, it's steel. So I'll leave that magnet out so I can check some, but I'll look at my stainless stuff to see if I have any kind of little washer. Well, here I am again. So I did find a stainless, let me show you here. Well, I thought it was, I guess not. It must be a low quality. Just barely wants to touch it. Not like this, it really cleans it. I mean, you can, this one really, it will lightly, well, it will lightly stick to it, but I mean, it's just barely. It's like the most minimum of minimum, to where this one, it really, you know, it really sticks. And this is just like, it just don't have no oomph to it. It's, but it was with my marine stainless stuff. So, usually it's either a go or no. But we'll go back here The problem is we're getting several different metals involved here. We're getting stainless, brass, and aluminum. Now, if I had a stainless rivet, that would be really good. I just don't know if I've got anything like that. I'm gonna look through a little bit more. All right, success. I found a stainless pop rivet. Go stainless washer. This is aluminum. This is aluminum. That brass will come back too. So we could take this washer, put this stainless rivet down in, and I think that'll be it right there. So I'm gonna set up a drill bit and knock that one out. This is so hard with one hand. All right, so I got that one in right there. Check that out. That's got it. And then I've got one more still to do, and I'm not concerned as much on it because I can actually just tack that real quick with a stainless rod. If it splatters a little bit, just grind it and clean it up. So I'm gonna do that right now. All right, there that is, a couple of spots. I'm gonna tap that and knock that slag off there real quick and clean it up, and I think that probably has that fixed enough. It's no like real strain on this. It's nothing like trying to pull that through. So I think that bead right there probably got it good enough. All right, so it absolutely did. That has got that just beautiful right there.
So when I'm by myself, I just pray for brighter days.
All right, you want to see success? Here's success. This is the incorrect one, and it's supposed to be slung over the other way. Here it is, all done. Stainless steel washer, stainless steel rivet, drilled into that brass where I had to grind the brass away, and that'll hold that in there. Plus it fits so tight I had to press it anyway. To get it back in there, I took some big channel locks and really had to press it and do a little hammering to get it in. So it was already holding greatly with just friction. I'm sure that when I put that rivet in that brass and squeezed it too, I'm sure it expanded that brass even more in there, which gives even a better bond. So I am 100% confident on that, and at least I don't have too many different metals mixed up right there. And let's flip it over here. This side, I had a stainless steel welding rod, and I just dabbed it right there real quick. It didn't take much. I tell you, it didn't take much at all. I'd even turn that heat down, but there it is. And I'm not even going to grind it that or nothing. It doesn't matter because it sticks up some even originally anyway. There it is. Now it has been changed from being a push to a pull. Oh man, that's so good. Man, oh man. Heaven. Hey, good evening everybody. So I want to cover a little bit on my Bangka boat out here. Show you a few little things that I've got done on it, and see what you think about it. Kind of wait for it to get maybe a little bit darker so you guys can see it really good, get a good effect. But I'll add that here, a little recording as the sun sets. So here we go. So I've been wiring up the lights, and it's just kind of like I just hit it here and there as I feel like it, you know, or I've got time. So this light right here is off of a boat back in the States, and I took it off and stripped a bunch of the little parts and stuff and brought here. That was like a boat I bought like for parts before back in the States, and it's come in so handy. I pulled a lot of things off of it. It's helped me on my boat projects. So there you go on that. I got that in. I got it wired down through here, and then I put me a anchor light back here, which is actually a navigation and anchor light because it has the white to the rear and it has your red and green for your port and starboard side and all as well up there on it. And then I put in a belch pump. I cut in a little well for the belch pump, painted it up. My drain plug goes right in behind it right there. So this should be in the water normally the lowest place. Now I've got tape still on here because I've been doing a little painting, and I probably ought to peel this tape and just retape it again later before it sticks too much. It is that blue tape though, but I need to put more coats of paint on at a later date when I'm touching up. Sidetracking here, squirrel. Let me peel that off. I just want to show you it's just got tape, and there's tape there too, and I need to do a little touch up on paint here, but it tore on me there. I'll peel it here later. So I put a through hole up really high. Now this is like, let me get this off my fingers, boy. That tape's still sticky. Boy, that blue tape's been some good tape. So this is like my chine line right here, so water don't really splash up past this, and this is pretty protected too because it's cross beam. So I put my through hole right here from the belch pump up nice and high. I routed the tube across. I've got some little loops, and I'll come out here tomorrow. I've got several things going to loop, and I'll put a loop, maybe 2 of them, holding it back right here. I've got a little slack here I can move, and I'll have that all strapped in. The tube comes down, comes underneath down here, all set up. Now it's automatic right now. I'll show you. So I did not screw this down. I'm gonna make me a little support to come across and hold it because I want to be able to pick it up and clean underneath it and put it back down. And I don't want to deal with unsnapping it all the time because it'll end up eventually probably breaking it or something. So I'm gonna put me a little plastic tube across, like I'm gonna cut some of that PPR in half, and then I'm gonna screw through it right here. I'm gonna screw through it over here, but that PPR, I'm gonna make a notch in it so I can just slip it under that screw, holding this down. And then if I want to clean it, I can just rock it back over out of my way, pick the pump up and clean that little bilge area right there. So this is automatic. If water gets up a certain level, it'll come on right there, hooked up to the battery. And then up here on the dash, I've got switches set up for everything, including if I just want to turn it on direct. There it is. And so I got that. Then I've got my navigation light. So if I turn this on, now this light's on and the front light should be on. Let's go look and see. There they are. And then I can, this switch has got a second position that I can rock it down, and in the middle position right there, this light stays on, which is clear on the back, like an anchor light. It's clear on the back side, and the front light is off now. I'll show you here. The front light's off. So that way, if I just want to stay floating out there on the water or whatever and consume a little less power or something, you know, I can. Now on my Sea Ray over there, I have this same light fixture on the back, the same LED bulb, and it's just clear only. And I can leave that light on literally for days and it will not drain my battery on that boat, literally for days. So out here on the waters here, any boats that's left on the water, they have these flashing blinker lights on them, and they leave them on all night long. They're not really going by like some kind of international Coast Guard rule or anything out like the United States or UK. It's just as long as they got some kind of light marking it, blinking light or clear light, just something where somebody knows it's there, That's all that really matters. They'll buy different colors where they know their boat. You know, one of them might have one color scheme that's blinking, and another one's got another color scheme that's blinking. So that's the deal with that. So I can leave it on and then I can flip that all the way off. Now I need to, one little wire I need to connect in there on this switch to where it makes the LED burn, but it does work. And I'll maybe pop that out and do that tomorrow. Then this last one is LEDs in the boat, and I need to get these little wires here. I just did these earlier. I need to get these little wires here all put up in place underneath there. I've got some little loops that are for that, and put a little stainless screw through them, and then I'll put a little dab of silicone right at the edge of that in that little loop so the wire don't wiggle and just make it a little bit better. So I'll put the loop on it, put a little stainless screw through it, and then put a dab of silicone around all of that. So it's gonna be nice. It's gonna give this nice subtle lighting down inside in there. What do you think about that? And then here I put one kind of forward where to kind of light me up right here by me, kind of subtle down at the dash. And I can dim these. I can brighten them, I can change the color on them, any of that. So, you know, if I want to make them something different, I can. So tell me what you think about that. As you see, I can bring it down really soft. Change the colors on them here, do all kinds of things on it. Actually, there's a whole different set of color schemes and all I can choose. What do you think about that one? It looks really cool, don't it? I can put them plain white, just red, whatever color I want. Yep. So that is the deal with that. Tell me what you think about that. Looks good, looks good. So the solar panel's wired in. I haven't placed the wire exactly where the panel exactly where I'm going to put it yet. That's still up for debate. I might put it back there in the back. I just don't know. I don't want anything blocking right there in front of the motor. I could set it, I don't know how much benefit it would be with shadow on it, but I could put it right over this fuel tank and it might still charge enough. I only needed to trickle in because that would shade that fuel tank from getting so hot out in the sun. That's a possibility. But got all that, and also I got my remote working now. Modified the linkage inside of it, as y'all seen in video. And then for my idle up right here on the throttle, there is a little round like cam that goes with this lever right here. And when you change that linkage, you've also got to switch that cam around, take these two screws out and flip that cam over, and then it goes into another slot on there. So I did that today. I took that apart, flipped that little cam around, got that. So now I have my throttle up on my motor back there, and got that all done. And I'm on a key switch right here, so I can just whirl it over and start her up. One other thing I've done is, let me turn on a light right here, is I drilled out the battery box right here in this corner so it'll drain, it won't hold water in it. It had these little vents right here and right here, and I tell you what, those two little vents let a lot of rain go inside. I was really shocked how much rain it went in there, and had that little box flooded. It didn't have any holes in the bottom of it. So I cut a hole in that corner, and I can just let that be now, or I could fill those in, but it's really venting outside here anyway. I do need to put the little strap and the little loop and the little strap and where I can pull it and keep this lid sucked down. I did screw this down in there today while the battery was out. I put some stainless steel screws in with some large like fender washers that were also stainless steel. Set the battery in place so if you're in rough water or anything, it don't go flipping and flopping everywhere. And so that got that. I'm pretty happy with that. Just a little tidying up, and then I need to go through and do a little paint work and all. Now I will tell you a mishap that's happened here. This side piece like this, I was working on that one over there. I was beginning to put the blocks and everything support it. I had it all fastened down. I had it screwed in from the bottom with stainless steel screws and a block here. And then the other thing I do is I attach this back in right here across. And that one I was working on it and got it all started. Was going to come out and finish the next day. These local children had got up here climbing around. Mel had a talk with them. They're all gone now. They were coming here every evening and using this as a hangout spot. Little small kids, and they got up here climbing, and that was not finished yet, and they broke it off. It's laying on the ground on the other side. So I've got to rebuild that piece and finish that. I mean, I kind of blame myself. I should have just seen it through 100%. I honestly didn't picture kids climbing up there, so that's the way that goes. Yeah, that's the way it goes. So here we go, man. We're getting a nice cool effect. Isn't this a sweet little boat, man? Isn't that awesome? Yeah, isn't that awesome? So I'll be honest with you, I was originally going to put those lights on the underside shining down towards the water, but I was just afraid that all that constant salt water slapping the mess out of them and all, that they would end up getting tore up. And I said, nah, I don't want to do that. And so I put them in here and I kind of offset them across from each other, and it's looking great, man. I think I get some nice subtle light down low. It's not blinding. Man, that's gonna be awesome. So I will like to thank, the other day we had a guest here, and his name was Troy, and he is from Georgia, and he was hanging out here, and him and I, we put and modified that light. We did a modification to it. We made it where it's telescoping, and wired that up together the other day while he was here as a guest and hanging out. And I want to give him credit for helping me and hanging out with me when I did that day, and it was just kind of enjoyable. Have that little time that we spent modifying that light, making it unique for this boat. And if you see this video, well, then Troy, know that we appreciate you coming here, and I appreciate the time that we spent hanging out working on that day. And I hope we see you again, and that you had a good journey heading back. And I think today that I'm recording this is the day you're leaving Cebu to head back to the United States. So I hope that you're having safe travels and that you made it home okay. You'll be back in the US by the time this video is made. And take it easy there, man. Don't overdo yourself, and we're all here when you come back.